Hello, my name's Debbie Randzio from the Episcopal Church of the Atonement in Westfield, and I would like to talk with you a little bit about my own journey of faith. Um, I'll ask you to forgive me from the start because it's a very personal story and sometimes I get emotional, but I'm going to do my best to share it with you. I am a cradle Episcopalian, raised in the Episcopal Church in State College, Pennsylvania, and my grandfather before me was a member of the Leicester Cathedral Boys Choir in England. So Episcopalianism goes way back in my family, but being an Episcopalian is not the same as having faith, as I have learned. And there have been several events over the course of my life that have been milestones in my faith journey. One is learning to pray when my sister was run over by a tractor and we weren't sure she was going to survive. And I think I must have been about 10 years old, but it was the first time in my life I remember actually consciously deciding to pray. And she lived. My grandfather was in a coma a few years later, lying on his deathbed, and we visited him in the hospital, and he was lying there blessing himself. He could say nothing, he could not recognize anybody, but he lay in his bed doing this. And I thought, boy, this is powerful stuff. There must be something to it. And then years later, as a young mother, I woke up the morning after Christmas to discover that my 6-month-old daughter was dead of SIDS, otherwise known as crib death. And again, my husband was kneeling on the kitchen floor, blessing that baby. She had been scheduled to be baptized the next Sunday, and he was baptizing her himself on the kitchen floor. And those images stuck with me as very powerful indications that there is faith that goes deeper and far beyond anyone's denomination, any individual church, but it's deep inside somewhere. Much later, I became the chair of the committee that was working to call a new priest to our parish. And at that time, I saw the workings of God. I had no clue what we were doing, but we as a committee worked together, and it was the first time in my life I could actually feel the hand of God working and steering our actions and steering the call to Nancy Webb Stroud, who came to our parish and has been guiding us ever since. And all of those are not anything that I can put a handle on, that I can express articulately, as you can tell, but have been deep inside me as indications that there is something working behind and above and around us all the time to guide us. And most recently, as manager for the last 6 years of the Westfield Farmers Market, we started out, my associate Peter Langmore and I started managing the Westfield Farmers Market, knowing absolutely nothing about how to manage a market, but we decided we wanted to do that as a ministry of the Church of the Atonement. And the market in 6 years' time grew from 5 vendors to over 50 in the last year until COVID hit. And as you all know, things fall apart. And there were times this past season that we didn't even know whether we could open. But I was determined that we were going to not let the market fail. We were going to stick to our mission of supporting local agriculture and feeding hungry people. And we did manage to open, and we grew. We doubled in numbers through the course of the season. We had a shortened season. But the best part about it was the people who came and thanked us for being there, the people who came and used their EBT cards to purchase money with the SNAP program and the HIP program, and were able to receive a supplement to their food. The Rachel's Table volunteers from the Jewish Foundation of Western Massachusetts who came and delivered food from our market to the homeless teens in Westfield. We were feeding hungry people. As small as we were and as difficult as the times were, we were still following our mission. And the best part about it was we were reaching out to people in the community. Our volunteers were not just from the church. We had more volunteers stepping up and saying, I want to be part of this. We were drawing people in and reaching out in love. And we are known as a loving and encouraging community. When asked how we do it, my answer is always, we try our best to be the people that we say we are, reaching out in faith and drawing in love. And we thank God for the opportunity to have grown over the years. And that's been a summary of my journey of faith, and I wish you well on yours. Goodbye, and God bless you all. Stay well.